Welcome to All About Spain with me, Barry Haylor, and this is the same sort of video that I've done before about where to live in Spain, but this one's a bit different. I have a guest with me today. It's at his house actually, not my house, and this is Simon. And welcome, Simon. And we're going to talk about Calpe, because Calpe is one of the nicest places around this coastline, and Simon has had a house here for a number of years. I mean, how many years?
18 years.
18 years, so a long time. Lots of things have happened in 18 years. So we're going to talk about why he picked Calpe, why he picked Spain, why he's still here. So, we'll talk to Simon about that, and obviously other things as well. And as we go along, obviously the conversation will grow whichever way it goes. So we'll see how that goes, because this is the sort of first one-to-one like this I've done. So it's going to be interesting always. But firstly, Simon could talk about why he picked Calpe and Spain in particular, not France or Italy or somewhere else. So why did you?
Well, I've always wanted a holiday home and always liked Spain. Never been to mainland Spain before, but always thought about it, and it was a bit of a dream, I suppose, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So talked to a few people and knew someone who at that time had a holiday home in Spain. Their holiday home happened to be in Calpe, so he said, why don't you think about Calpe? So yes, we came to Calpe for a holiday, for a 2-week holiday in the summer, and spent probably the whole that time looking at holiday homes.
Right,
looking at,
like a lot of people do.
Buying houses off plan, looked in loads of different places, Javier, Moreira, the Cumbre del Sol.
Oh yeah, lots of hills around there.
And decided in the end to buy a house in Calpe, and saw a house I really liked, paid a deposit while I was here, and that was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've still got the house now, so...
Incredible, a long time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes, I think, in that time, but it's...
A lot of changes to Calpe,
I think Calpe's changed considerably, and we've seen a lot of changes in Spain.
Yeah.
As an expat.
Yeah, of course.
To Spain, obviously with Brexit, it's been
and how have you found this situation with Brexit actually coming here now, because you're not resident, so you're only allowed 90 days?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it changes your plans. I mean, in the past you could, one time I spent 18 months here, but I couldn't do that now.
No.
I just couldn't do that now. Not in one go.
Not without being a resident.
No. So I think it changes your plans, definitely. And recently with COVID, it's been a really difficult time for homeowners in Spain.
Yeah, of course.
Because you couldn't come to your house for 2 years, so your garden's totally out of control. The pool's destroyed.
Which is what the problem you've had here as well.
We've had loads. We've come back. We've got a garden that needs a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
A pool that's taken a long time to get looking half decent.
Yeah.
So it's been difficult, and there's always the cost involved as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's been difficult for everyone, but really, I think we're coming out of it now.
I think so. Yeah, I think we're coming out of it. But I think I agree with you. The cost of maintaining a house is. I mean, I live in an apartment, so it's a lot easier to live in an apartment, than is a house, because you haven't got those external,
I think
repairs.
If anybody's looking to buy a property in Spain, certainly if you're looking to buy a villa, a detached villa with a garden, with a pool, you've got to consider the costs.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very expensive.
Yeah. And even just because of the heat of the sun, the paintwork on the houses fades, it's all to do with that, isn't it? Everything fades here. Furniture, a lot of furniture fades,
The sun destroys it.
Yeah, and if you've got plastic seating especially, I've seen those sort of go whoop like that, and people end up on the ground. So that's something else when you're buying furniture.
Even like having a pool, you don't factor in the cost of the cleaning of the pool and the filtering of the pool.
You just think about enjoying it.
Yeah, it's nice, but for those 2 or 3 weeks of the year, or how many weeks of the year is it?
Yeah,
do you really
it's
want to be
expensive.
Spending €1,000 plus?
So would you say having a holiday home, you would think it'd be better to come more than just 2 or 3 weeks a year?
I think if you're renting it out, then 2 or 3 weeks of the year, or a couple of times a year, is justified. But if you're not renting your property out, you've got to use it more than a few weeks of the year to get your value for money.
Otherwise, it's especially now, because obviously property prices are more expensive than when you bought, 18 years ago, for sure.
Of course, I mean, the euro is at 1.5 something, 1.6 euros to the pound. Now we're almost 1 for 1.
So it's bad news.
Great if you're selling in Spain and going back to the UK, also taking your money back to the UK, but not great if you're coming to...
I think a lot of people have gone back to the UK as well.
I mean, I'll give you an example. When we first bought our house here, all of our neighbours They weren't all British, but we had a couple of British neighbours, but they were all people living here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of those properties have been sold and they're all holiday homes.
Mm.
And they're all rented out through Interhome, through
Different companies.
Alhambra.
Yeah.
You know, they're rented out, and there's French, there's British, there's Belgium, there's all nationalities come into these holiday homes. So that's just us in one
particular
one small
area.
urbanisation in Calpe.
I think that's true. And I know a lot of British people have gone back because of Brexit, you know, and they haven't got residential here, and it's very expensive now.
I think most of us who bought a holiday home, residential wouldn't work for you.
No.
You know, if you live most of the time in your domicile in the UK, to have residency in Spain, certainly doesn't work. And if you've got a decent pension or you've got a decent income, to pay your taxes in Spain when you're working and paying taxes in the UK, it just doesn't work.
But also you're on a different level age-wise as well, whereas I'm a pensioner of 71, you're 50, you know, and obviously a lot younger, you've got a lot of years to go, yeah?
Yeah, but I think even older people, you know, the chap who I know who has a property in Calpe, he's still resident in the UK. He's had a house in Spain for 20-something years. Yeah. And he's lived in Spain previously, permanently, but now he does his 90 days on, 90 days off.
Yeah.
Because he's not...
Now let's talk about what we're really here to talk about. Is Calpe. You know, we need to know what's changed in 18 years in Calpe, or has nothing changed in Calpe? So Simon, you tell us what you think.
I mean, I would say Calpe is a different place now than it used to be. 18 years ago, it was a really nice place to visit for a holiday. Some nice restaurants, some good facilities, but now there's just no comparison. I mean, the choice when it comes to food is incredible. There's so many different restaurants. There's so many nice shops, lots of nice clothes shops, boutiques. There's loads more supermarkets.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different place.
And when you say about restaurants, do you mean that there's like Chinese, Indian,
there was always Chinese restaurants. There's always Indian restaurants, but I'm saying there's a lot more sort of gastro restaurants, which offer a bit more. Something a bit more upmarket, if you like, but not at extortionate prices. So I think the prices are still reasonable.
Yeah.
And obviously, some places are better value for money than others. If you go to a restaurant right on the beachfront,
of course,
you're going to be paying a lot more than you might if you go to one that's 2 or 3.
Because they're paying more for rent anyway.
I guess so, and I think if you in the summertime, those places are just mobbed by the holidaymakers, aren't they? If you're someone spends more time in Calpe and you get to know some of the other places that maybe the holidaymakers don't find, those are probably the better restaurants.
Yeah, maybe back from the beach. Maybe.
Yeah, and I think like everyone, you find your favourites.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And there's places we go to every time we come.
Yeah,
and they're always good.
Yeah.
So there's probably 90% of the restaurants in Calpe I've never stepped foot in. And probably never will.
But how many are there? I mean, that's the thing, isn't it?
I couldn't even tell you.
No.
But I mean, yesterday, for example, I was looking on TripAdvisor, just out of interest, and believe it or not, the top 4 restaurants on TripAdvisor are all Indian restaurants.
Indian?
Yeah.
I know Indian food here is very popular.
Yes,
very popular.
We go to a little Indian restaurant on one of the side streets, and it's fantastic. It's always the same.
Have the prices going there? Are they gone up much?
In the restaurant we go to there, that is very, very reasonable, and it hasn't gone up much in the last few years.
No.
But then you go to other restaurants and you think 2 plates of paella, €30.
Yeah.
It's an expensive lunch.
Yeah.
A couple of drinks and some pan and alioli, you're talking €55. It's a lot of money.
But you still can get menu d'aldias at 10 or 12 or 13 euros, can't you?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
It depends what you want. It's everything is the same, isn't it? It's what level you want to be at, really.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, people who are obviously thinking about Calpe, they're doing a bit of research. We've got Zootopia now, which is the tallest building in Calpe with a bar on the.
Oh, is that the Sky Bar?
The Sky Bar. I think
Sky
it's 20,
Bar.
Is it the 29th?
Fantastic Sky Bar has to be gone to. It's fantastic.
29th floor.
Yeah.
The most amazing views of Calpe. You can see across the Benidorm and
especially at night.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's a nice place to go and have a drink.
Yeah, it is.
But we've got some other really nice hotels as well. So there's something in Calpe for everyone. You've got a permanent play park, a fun fair.
Right.
Always used to be a seasonal thing, but now it's permanent. It has its own permanent site.
Right.
There's now in Calpe we have, I can't even tell you how many, but there's several really nice caravan parks for if you have a dormobile or a mobile home or a caravan. The facilities are fantastic. There never used to be those facilities in Calpe. 20 years ago there wasn't. No. But now, if you're someone who
there are a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
A lot of.
I'm sure there are the seasonal pitches available.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a cheap way to live. In the past, you used to see the motorhomes in the winter parked up on the lay-bys.
Yes.
But not now. They don't tolerate it now.
Well, the Spanish authorities now have stopped pretty much most of that.
If you have a park where you can go and you can get an electric hookup, empty your water, empty your tanks, fill your water, and it's 30, 40 euros a night, then you've got no reason to park in a lane.
No, because that's still cheap relative to a hotel.
I think it's relative, and they're offering facilities, really good quality facilities. So
I suppose the cost of that reflects of the facilities that they've got.
Exactly, yeah. But I don't think there are any poor places now in Calpe like that. I was going to say poor in relation to facilities. They're all good quality facilities.
I mean, what do you find, because in the hot months of June, July, August, Calpe is very, very busy.
It's very, very busy. We were here at the beginning of September, and you're still experiencing temperatures in the 30s, mid-30s. There's nowhere to park in the town in the evening.
No.
Every time we went into the town, we had to park in one of the underground car parks because you couldn't find anyone on the street.
Yeah.
All the restaurants, you had to make bookings.
Yeah.
The beach is absolutely chock-a-block, but
that's 3 months of a 12-month cycle.
Yeah.
So the rest of the year, if you're someone who wants to come more on a regular basis, then you're experienced the nicer, quieter times as well.
Yes, yeah, and the thing to bear in mind also is that a lot of the restaurants and some of the facilities don't open in the winter. That a lot of them will close down for a period of the year.
Yeah.
So those are things to consider, and the sun doesn't always shine in Spain.
No, we've had some heavy rain over the last week.
Yeah, and there's something else to think about is you do experience power cuts sometimes.
Yeah. Not as much as we used to.
No, I've noticed it recently, not as bad as it used to be.
No.
But it used to be really bad in the past, and sometimes I'll just turn the water off for no reason.
So, I mean, that's all nice, very, very positive thoughts about nice restaurants and hotels. Yeah. But what about, is there any downside about being here, apart from the parking, like we talked about, the 3 months?
The downsides of Calpe?
Yeah.
I don't think there are, personally. That's from my personal experience.
Yeah.
We love Calpe. I love coming to Calpe. I would spend every day in Calpe if I was able to.
Yeah, especially when you look at the weather back home in England.
Especially at the moment.
Yeah, and it's pretty bad over there at the moment.
No, but it's. I think the thing is, Calpe is a big town.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But when you get into the centre of it, it's actually quite small.
Yeah.
So if you park up and you walk around the centre of Calpe, it's quite small.
Yeah.
It's not like going to Benidorm or Alicante. Or
Benidorm is very spread, isn't it?
Yeah, where Calpe is quite, although it's a big town, the actual centre of the town is quite small.
Fantastic beaches.
Fantastic beaches,
Yeah, looked after well.
Beaches, lovely ports, nice marina.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely place.
Yeah. So lots of nice seafood to eat, obviously, because they've got the boats that go out every night, haven't they? Fishing. They do.
They have a fishing market as well. You can go and watch the fish being auctioned.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Now when the fishing boats come back in, you can actually go in the observation above the auction. And you can watch,
I didn't know that at all.
And you can watch the fish.
That's interesting.
Sold,
that might be worth looking at.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you can, as long as you don't mind the smell.
I think I'd be okay.
No, but it's interesting because when you see what they bring in, it's incredible.
Yeah.
The variety of fish they catch.
They must bring in stuff that you've never seen before, I'd imagine.
I would say so.
Yeah. So for you, 18 years has flown by. you're happy here. You never think about, well, no, we all say never,
I've visited lots of places in Spain, probably not as many as yourself, but I've visited quite a few places, and always keep coming back to Calpe. Always Calpe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to sell the house and buy another property elsewhere because I like Calpe.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, it feels like home.
Yeah, well, I suppose
that's what a holiday home should feel like.
It's supposed to be like a second home, isn't it?
Home from home, and I think it's like anything. Over a period of time, you get to know a few people.
Yeah,
and you become familiar with.
Well, we met here.
Exactly.
Yeah, we met here. So,
and you meet some good friends and people that you spend more time with when you're in Spain than you do with friends in England.
Yeah, because of working.
It's more sociable as well. When you're here, you tend to go out for meals more often and you do things that you wouldn't do at home.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's a good view of Calpe, I think, and this video is a little bit different to the other ones about where to live in Spain. But further down the road, I will do one about Calpe, about property prices and schools. But this one, Simon's here at the moment, so I want to grab him so we could really go through what he thought after being someone that had been here for a long time. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'd like to thank Simon.
You're welcome.
And, we'll see you soon, and let's enjoy the video. Ciao.